Well, don't know what to say. Hopefully you can all hear me. I didn't check the microphone first. I've quickly come on to a live just to quickly give my reaction to Sean Dyche getting sacked. What have I done here? There we go. First emotions first is I'm gutted. You know, he's been here for 10 years. It hasn't gone well this season, yes, but the timing is wrong, and I feel it shouldn't have ended like that. It's not ended in the way that it should have done for Dyche. Hopefully you can all hear me. Like I said, no one said we can't hear you. Mark just says, what the heck? That's a polite way of putting it, mate. ADT says, I'm not even a Burnley fan, but I don't know why they would sack him. Seems poor decision. Every Burnley fan agrees with you, I think, mate. There's going to be a few that wanted him out, so there'll be a few that will probably disagree. But my overall emotion is I'm fucking gutted. Honestly, I'm gutted. It should not have ended like this. He deserved, in my opinion, more. He deserved to see the season out. Whatever happened. Don't necessarily think it was just his fault that we went down. I think it was part of it, as I've said before, if we do go down, which we will. But I think we should have at least got to end of this season and then just reassessed everything. If he left at the end of this season, then fine. If he was given the first half of next season, then fine. It didn't work out, then get rid of him then. But for me, I don't think it should have ended like this. Get your comments in. You can even come on the show if you want to. I can put a link in, send people a link if they want to come on the show and have their say. Shelby and Jordan, that's two people, says, how do you sack someone that's been at the club for nearly 10 years for the sake of 8 games? That's pretty much what I'm saying, mate. Bethany says they should have let him finish the season, to be honest. Yeah, good. And Mike, he says the sound is good. Thank you very much, mate. That's good to know. But obviously, I'm here with Simon. Funny story. Well, it's not that funny. No one's going to laugh. I was actually getting my haircut. Sam's hairdresser. I don't know if you know him. Getting my haircut in his house when the news broke. And I was trying to tweet it and I was shaking. I was that mad. But Simon, your thoughts and opinions on Dyche getting sacked. We're also live on Simon's TikTok. He's a TikTok guy. I'm just sort of like, I'll do everything else. So if you want to watch it on Simon's TikTok, you can do. But Simon, your thoughts?
It's like Joe said, behind the scenes, we can do it on TikTok. But yeah, I'm disappointed because I think it's the right thing, and we'll quote this one. I think it's the right thing at the wrong time. I don't think that we should have done it in the manner we've done it, exactly like Joe said. I think that he needed sacking weeks ago, months ago. You can see that the players aren't playing to the way they should do. I think he's picking the wrong teams out of stubbornness at times. I think that I've made this point a few times now, that how many managers can you say that have been in the Premier League for 6 years or more? I bet you it's not a bigger number as you actually think it is. Like if you went down and listed it, he would be in sort of like the top 20 of managers all time, in my opinion, because if we're going on time spent at a club, I do think that it was a wrong time to do it. Like you said, there's 8 games left. Can we survive? Look, if we'd have sacked him before that Norwich game, right? Norwich was a winnable game. It was a must-not-lose game anyway. I don't think it was a must-win, but it was a must-not-lose game. I think you get a reaction from that game. You go on then to West Ham, who are absolutely flying at minute, but had a poor game last Sunday after the Thursday game.
They're flying, but they're knackered, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because
of the schedule list. You know, we could have actually gone further if we'd have done this earlier. So my problem with it is this a case of businessmen running it like a business as opposed to a football club? And I know that it is a business. People will come in the comments and say that, but ultimately you can't make decisions just based on business in the Premier League.
I agree with what you're saying. I agree with. I don't think he should have been sacked earlier. I think if he was going to be sacked earlier, you should have done it 10 games ago. For me, I don't see the point in doing it now. I just do not see the point. If you'd done it, January, when we were still shit but we had a chance, then fair enough. I'd have still been probably just as annoyed, but you can understand why they're doing it. I just don't even understand the logic at any point this time. I just don't get I don't get what they think it's going to achieve in 8 games. Bear in mind, they're probably not going to get somebody in. They're probably not going to get somebody in between now and definitely Sunday. Maybe not the week after, unless they've already sounded out a replacement. So I don't understand how this is going to work. We've got a few fans of other clubs in the comments. You're definitely relegated now. I probably agreed. I thought we were down anyway, mate. I don't see how this hasn't sent us down. We were already down. And there was a Leeds fan earlier. Yeah, there we go. I think I put it on the screen earlier. Matt not done. He says, Leeds fan here, I feel more confident with you not having Dyche anymore. Again, You don't need. Leeds are miles ahead of us. Like there's no. As I see Leeds fans all the time, because I work in Leeds, so I know a few Leeds fans. I see Leeds fans all the time whinging, saying, "Oh, fucking hell, Burnley have got this, they've got these." We're not going to catch Leeds. Leeds are fine. Leeds are fine. Robert Wellhall. Sorry, Weehall. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Where's it gone? He says, I agree with Simon 100%, although I do think Pace has hammered the panic button. I couldn't agree more. I think he's panicked.
100%. Just reading the comments. I overheard this on Sky Sports, but on my TikTok, Vicky Williams has put under 23s coach and Ben Mee to take charge of Sunday's game. I thought I heard that. And obviously Vicky just confirmed that. I'll just read out some other things. Of course, we can look at our next fixtures. I think that's referring to can we stay up? And then I can't tap how I'm feeling right now. So obviously the emotion of it is quite high at the minute. I think this is the biggest thing in my memory of being a Burnley fan. Obviously, Coyle hurt more because it was the first. But this one is like...
The first love cuts deepest.
This is a genuine biggest thing that we've ever done. It's the most ridiculous. I mean... I said this the other day, right? If we get relegated, people were saying that Sean Dyche is the best man to take us up. Now, I've listed at that point the clubs like Charlton, Ipswich, Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United, and I could go on, that have been in the Premier League, that have come down and then struggled to get back up. A lot of clubs do it on a regular, like Fulham's, etc., but it doesn't mean they stay up. And I think that we've got to look at everything now and say, Sean Dyche has won X amount of games in the Championship, and his record in that the win rate is something like 60% nearly. It is quite high. But Sam Allardyce will keep you in the Premier League, I said at this point. Now, does that mean he's the right man for the job at the time? No, it doesn't. That's my point. It doesn't mean that he's the right man for the job. Sean Dyche might have been a good manager in the Championship in history, just like Sam Allardyce is a good manager in the Premiership in history. But it doesn't necessarily mean he's the right man for the job going forward.
Again, a lot of comments coming in. Keep them coming in. Ryan Collins says, what a joke. Pace the hypocrite came in saying Dyche is going to get 100% back and fucked him off after a year. I mean, he did get backed as well as Pace could back him, I feel.
I think so. I think there was good money put in. But can we just also address the fact that Dyche is given 120 grand a week on rumoured contract and then being sacked?
That was the main reason why I didn't want to sack him. Other than I felt he had enough credit in the bank, and despite what you just said, I felt he was the best man to at least get the first 6 months in the Championship next season because of his record. So I didn't want to see him go because of that. But another big factor about not wanting to see him go is because it's going to cost us
millions.
I'm not very good at maths, I'll be honest. But if he's on 125 grand a week and he's got 3 and a bit left of his contract, that's a lot of money. 10 million there or thereabouts. And I know contracts don't work in a case of he's going to... I know what's that?
TikTok do the maths for me.
Yeah, I know contracts don't work like that. Like you have to pay out the rest of their contract. They will come to an agreement. So what's it cost us to sack him now? 8 million quid? Do we have a spare 8 million quid? I've seen someone comment the same thing about 15 times in the comments. So just to shut him up or her, do you all think you are going down? I do. There you go. There's your answer. Bethany says, "You're what? Sorry,
I'm undecided.
I've seen nothing. I have seen nothing to suggest.
No, I agree, and this is what we're saying. Under the Dyche regime, we have seen nothing. But every club, we haven't had that new manager bounce. We've never really had it. We had Brian Laws, who nobody wanted at the time. We've now got an opportunity to get a really good momentum. We know, we've all said it before, that this 11 is good enough to keep us up. It was only 4 or 5 games ago we started thinking, shit, this is not good enough. But we've said it up until 4 games ago. Every single Burnley fan would have said that these players have got enough to keep us up. Now, these players are still here. Do we need that new manager bounce? And who will it be? That's another question.
I've seen Johnny texting Simon asking for the link. Johnny, you can do the right thing and text me instead, and I'll send it you. In fact, how do I fucking send it? Because does that now go to your phone?
No, that's
So if I can get Johnny on, he said
he'll come in here.
Yeah, exactly. So how do I send it to him? Is my point. But anyway,
sorry, do you want to text him?
Yeah.
Sorry. Read that comment on my TikTok then.
What's your comment on your TikTok? Good we sacked him. He wasn't getting the results.
No,
Joe Holden on TikTok says, if Allardyce comes in, I am never going again. When Simon's quickly done this, after Johnny's been very rude and not messaged me or spoke to me all day, but he'll keep messaging Simon, I am going to bring in something for us all to discuss. Ever the professionals on this show. Copy paste. The last thing Johnny Tate sent to Simon, is there a 48-hour consolation on Dyche's contract? So we all know what Johnny Tate thinks. But I do want to bring something in because there's been a few questions How do I make that big again?
Yes, Paula, thank you.
That's what she said. Let's read some more comments first before I do what I want to do. Joshua Shapcott. That's exactly what I'm going to discuss in a minute, so we'll bring that in a second. The Dugout says, I'm absolutely stunned at this news. Same, mate. I was physically shaking. I know people just say it, what you do. I know people just say it, but I was physically shaking. Even Simon's wife was sat across from us while I was getting my hair cut. She was like, "You're shaking, man." I was that mad and that surprised, and I can't believe it. Arsenal fan says, I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm shocked. It seems to have shocked people more. I can understand why, than Bielsa getting sacked by Leeds. Obviously, Sean Dyche is Burnley. The entire team personifies him. The questions are coming in quite fast, actually, so I'm going to struggle to keep up with these. Gordon Ramsay. I think, hopefully it's the Gordon Ramsay, says, what the fuck is going on? He's swearing, so I think it is Gordon Ramsay. A Chelsea fan says, love the loyalty Burnley Dash had to each other. We'll be sad to see him gone. 100%, mate. 100%. Yeah. I agree. And yes, so we had a comment earlier on, like I said, from Joshua Shapcott. Who would replace him and who is available at the minute? Now, what I'm going to do by the magic of the internet is I am going to bring in... what's this? Oh, for God's sake. How do I do this now?
I'm not sure. But
no, don't matter. Forget it. I was going to bring in... where's the thing on now?
Oh.
Where? There we go. Sorry, I was going to bring in... Oh, there we go. Right, I can bring it in now. Sorry. Different computer. I'm on Simon's computer, so I don't know what I'm doing. There are the next Burnley manager odds. Sam Allardyce is a current favourite. Honestly, if someone's already said on TikTok, if we bring Allardyce in, I'm never going again. I'm not going to go that deep because I've paid for my season ticket and I'm a tight horse, so I'm going to use it. But he's a current favourite at 3-1, and he's miles ahead. Now, this is obviously in the infancy stages. So it's take it with a pinch of salt, but that is what it is at the minute. Allardyce is the favourite at 3-1. Then we've got Michael Duff at 10s, Benitez at 10s, no chance. Solskjaer at 10s, no chance. Santo, Nuno, get him in. I'll have him. Carlos Corberan, Daniel Farker, he can fark off. I'm not having him. Wayne Rooney, he'll come in and demand respect, but what's he done at Derby? Not a chance. Tony Pulis, 20-1. Mike Jackson, he's the current under-23s coach, isn't he? Right. 20-1. Claudio Ranieri, no. Puel, I'd have Puel. I would have Puel. He did well at Leicester. Leicester fans didn't like him because he played crap football. But we're Burnley fans, put it with Dyche for 10 years, so we're not going to be arsed about crap football, are we? Let's be fair. Then after that, you've got Jukanovic, Liam Richardson, Liam Manning, Bielsa. I'd love Bielsa, but that's not happening. John Terry, fuck off, no chance. Houghton, have him. Keane, no. And then you're just guessing. Yeah, then you're just guessing. Jack Ross, yeah.
Martinez.
Paul Warne, former team. Is that Rotherham? Fuck off. So anyone take anyone's fancy? Simon, who's taking your fancy in that?
Well, interesting. I'm not actually sure at the minute. I've not thought about it long and hard enough. There are managers out there. Me and Johnny Tate were discussing this with Dave, that there are other managers out there that are good enough, but I don't watch the lower leagues enough. But I watched, for example, look at the way Fulham are. The football they're playing, mate, is unbelievable. On TikTok, United TV have put Ollie is great, honestly. They also said that United fans would rather have had Dyche than Ollie. So I don't know who I would want in at the minute. I've got to sit down and digest the fact that we've lost somebody. I feel like grieving. It's actually that ridiculous to say, but I do feel like we've got to grieve it. I'm disappointed, but I do think that ultimately we've got 11 players, 100% got that first team 11. If the right 11 is picked, I've said this on Turfcast before today, it's not a reaction for Sean Dyche. If the right 11 is picked, there is no doubts in my mind that this team can stay up. We just need to make sure that we get the right manager in. My next question for you then, Joe, is do you get a manager to try and survive the next 7 games and go forward, like, for example, Newcastle did when they started buying players in for just this season? Or do you think, write this season off and get a good manager in the long run?
I think you've got to, I don't know. I'd still, even though I think we're down, I still think it depends. If he's going to come in 4 games, then what's the point? There's 3 games left. And we're probably already down by then, so yeah. But just get the best manager for the best manager for the job. The best manager for the job is the best manager for the job. I don't think there's a difference what league we're in or what. I think Shadow Gamer wants Nuno by any chance.
My issue is, and
Graham Alexander.
If you'd have sacked this manager 8 games ago, right, when people were still confident that we could stay up, if you'd have sacked him 4 games ago, let's go as close as 4 games ago, I still think that the caliber of manager that would have been available to this club has gone to a third of what it could have been in 4 games.
I agree with that.
At least a third, right? I think that we could have done this decision. Alan Pace has obviously got a relationship. It's his first time in the Premier League. He's spent a lot of money on this. But I think that if he'd have had the balls to do this 4 games ago, when the fans were almost turning on him, I know a lot of fans, like this annoys me as well, because you go in the Burnley chats, if you ever sort of don't like what Dyche is doing, I won't say criticise him, just say you don't like the way that he's doing it, you're almost not a Burnley fan. And I don't agree with that.
No, I don't agree. I mean, I've got the column in Lancs Live, and literally, I've been doing it for 10 weeks now, 10, 11, 12 weeks, I don't know. And the first article I did was about how stubborn Dyche is, and literally the last one I did was talking about how stubborn Dyche is. So we all kind of agree that he is stubborn and has been stubborn. I think his stubbornness has cost him. It's his stubbornness that's got him sacked. Like you were saying then, the right team is picked because he's been stubborn with Jack Cork. For whatever reason, well, with Ashley Westwood, you know what I mean? He's being stubborn because for some reason he's Steve, you know what? I would 100% have Steve Cooper. Would Steve Cooper? Yeah, would Steve Cooper leave Forest? Forest are battling to go up to come to Burnley. There's no chance. If Forest stayed down and we stayed up, which is, you know, the latter of that is unlikely, then he might do it. But I think he's a Nottingham lad. I don't know enough about him, to be honest. But he's doing very well. Forest are doing very well. Forest are a club I really, really like. It's probably because one of them clubs we've not played for years.
You know what, though? Since he took over at Forest, who didn't want him, he's done really good things at Forest, and they're actually in the playoffs now at the minute.
Yeah.
Hanford said, Simon, I've accepted that we're down. And then a Stoke fan in my chat has put they'd have him at Stoke. I genuinely think you'd find any Championship club would have him.
Of course,
I don't even think that's like.
It's like a Tranmere fan saying I'd have him. Like, of course you would. You'd probably have me.
You'd find that Watford in the bottom 3 would have him still.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that he's still a great manager, and I don't want to disrespect Sean Dyche's name. I just think things get stale sometimes, and it's just not working at the minute.
Gordon says we need to know the reason why he's been sacked. I think even though we all probably didn't want him sacked at this time, I think the reason is obvious. We haven't been good enough, mate. That is the reason. I think I agree with you. What you're trying to say, though, Graham, like, he should have had enough credit in the bank to at least see the season out. At least. I've noticed that Johnny. I've noticed that you're in the thing now, but I can't see you. So let me know if you want to bring me in like that. But I just think that. What we're saying then. Yeah, he should have had enough credit to see the season out and potentially start the next season. Dylan Ball says Dyche is better, and that's exactly what I'm saying.
I hope Johnny comes on because he rang me and he made a really good point, and I said I'd save it for him to say because it was that good. Hanford has put favourite on Sky Bet is big. Sam, Duff, and Rooney. BFC Theo has put right decision, wrong time, and Owen Earnshaw has put he's been good for us. But it's a bit stale. It's still been stale for a bit now. Yeah, and we agree, mate. I've said this on Turfcast for weeks now. It's not just the only time I've ever said it. I'm not saying it as a reactional thing, and I want everyone to be aware that if we said that,
you can just go back and listen and watch the old Turfcast. We've both been saying it. It's just one of them things. Like gutted. I am gutted, Johnny. I don't know which one. Rafa to join and relegated.
If Everton couldn't hate him anymore, that would definitely put the final nail in the coffin.
That would. I don't think Rafa would work. Someone commented earlier, said Rafa would be good for you. I don't think he would do. There's something in the. I'm here but walking, so not on camera. Right, I'll bring Johnny in now. Johnny, if you're listening, you are in the chat. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts.
Hey mate, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're on YouTube and on TikTok. If you can't hear him on TikTok, I'm sorry, you'll have to deal with it.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just walking around town, so I just thought I'd give you a quick ring in. What we saying? What we're doing? You're good?
Well, bit gutted, to be honest. How about you?
Well, like I said, I rang Simon, didn't I? I don't know if you mentioned it, but I rang you and you guys didn't believe me. But it's one of them. Always going to be a sad day when it finally happens, what he's done. But like I said to Simon, it's shit a bus now. We were sleepwalking into relegation at the end of the day. And what can you do?
I do agree with that.
It's complete shit a bust. They had to do something because let's be honest, it was absolutely terrible all season. It was bad from start to finish. And I don't know. Like I say, who do you bring in? I've no idea. I've seen that what Borden's put out. I don't understand that whatsoever.
What's that? I've not seen what Borden's put out.
Something like under 23 coach and another guy and Ben Mee taking charge again for Sunday. What the fuck's that about?
What do you think about Ben Mee? I'm not just asking you, Johnny, but I want your opinion as well. What does everyone think about Ben Mee potentially taking control to the end of the season?
Ridiculous.
Because you remember
it's
when Owen Coyle
ridiculous.
was in charge and we got laws, everyone said Graham Alexander should have took over for the final few games. He knew what it meant to this club. Is this not the same scenario?
No, not for me. I just think that's absolutely ridiculous. Why would you have your captain? Oh, he's not fucking dying, is he? What's he got? What's he injured for? What's wrong with him? I don't get it. I don't get why you'd have your captain taking over the rest of the thing. I don't understand it. That's
fans in my chat saying Michael Duff for manager and Joy Barton. Now I think you've
they're not experienced enough for me.
You're talking with claret tinted glasses.
They're not experienced enough for me.
If you're going to make something like that, you need to have someone in.
Then yeah, but they haven't done enough yet.
You need to have someone in the wings who you can bring in, and we don't have that. It's like I mentioned to Simon up phone earlier when Bielsa got sacked from Leeds, and they're all going mad. Yeah, they went mad because what he'd done for him. But look at that now. What a decision that was to get rid of him at that time. You're like the bloody god at Leeds,
true.
The
Leeds have proper bounced back though, aren't they? To be fair, like I said, they probably already had that sounded out. I can't see us being savvy enough and sounding somebody out already.
I think that a reaction is needed. I've said it again now. I know if people just join, the 11 we have is good enough to stay in this division without doubt, in my opinion. And we're proving it year after year after year. What we're going to say then, right? So a massive point that we've got to bring up here is 10 players are out of contract, right? Is that not because of the manager? And if we get somebody in now, and it's not for the long term, me and Joe were asking this, do you get someone to keep us up or someone for the long term? Which is, which would you rather have? Someone who's going to say, right, I'll keep you up, and then a new manager comes in and takes over and brings in a whole new squad. You've got to look at as well, why are 10 players out of contract?
Jesus didn't die for this, says Curtis Lee Baker.
Yeah, like I say, the 10 players out of contract thing, there's only two things you can change into when they're out of form. You get bringing new signings, which we don't have the funds to replace 10 and then bring more in. Or you change the manager, and that's what we've had to do. We go down and all 10 players go. We can't bring 20 odd players in once we've gone down. We're not in a position to do that. Even if we stay in, we can't do that. So, like I said, I found on nail in the coffin after that Norwich game. It was clear. It was clear for all to see that they weren't playing. They weren't playing for him. It was terrible. But then again, if you're getting told to do the same thing week in, week out when it's not working, your head goes down. Something needed to change.
How do you think players are going to react to this news?
Well, it would tell him, won't it? If they come out against West Ham and have an unbelievable game, then it's clear for everyone to see that they weren't playing for him. But for it to get to that stage where it's at now, it's a bit of a sad end to what's been an unbelievable story for Sean Dyche, in my opinion. For him to leave how he has, to be sacked, and the players to give in if that's what it is and not play. It's a bit of a shit ending, it. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree. It's the timing for me. I feel he deserves. It shouldn't have ended like this. It shouldn't have ended like this. Paul Yates says it's Easter, lads. Dyche will be back on Monday. I get it because he's reason. I'm saying I'm just gutted, and it shouldn't have ended like this. And that sounds like you're walking past some very loud children, Johnny.
I've just put Little on swing. We're just at swings.
Yeah, fair enough. Right.
So I'm just gonna have one more minute and I'm gonna shoot.
Yeah, dedication to the scream though, Johnny. Fair enough. Keep your comments coming in, Johnny. If you're wrapping up, then I'll let you have your final say of the matter. What are your overall thoughts on the matter, and how do you think we're going to progress from here?
Like I said, it's shit a bus. They had to do something because we were, I think, worst form out there. What was that stat from end of 2021 where we were lowest ranked team for points per games? So it's been coming for the past couple of seasons. Like I say, it was never going to be a good thing when he finally went, but it's shit a bus, complete shit a bus. They have to do something. So if they've got some kind of game plan that works and we end up staying up, you look at it and say it's a good decision. If we go down, it's not because of that decision they've made. It's because of the past 20 odd games where we've been absolutely terrible all season. So it's not like we're in form and we've randomly sacked
him. You're on about. Was it the Football League table, including all four divisions, we had the lowest points since 2021?
Yeah, 2021 we had the lowest points per game out of every single team in the Football League.
And I said this, no one else would have their job with that sort of statistic in the top flat. No one else.
No. But like I said, when you have a manager there that long and players there that long, it just gets stale, doesn't it? It becomes stale. The same message being told the same thing week in, week out.
Exactly. It's the same voice, the same listeners, the same message going out over and over and over again for the last 10 years. If it's not Dyche's fault, they haven't continued bringing players in.
It's a lack of investment, and which has overall led to.
But he's fallen victim to it, and he's fallen victim to his own stubbornness in a way. But I do agree, it's the same. It's just the same voice, listening to the same things, playing the same message. It has gone stale. It's obvious it's gone stale. Just look at the league table.
Do we need someone like Dyche, or do we need a complete change in direction?
Complete different change of direction. It's like I talk sport on the way down to town today, and they're just going on about buddy Sam Allardyce. If they get Sam Allardyce, I will not step foot on the turf again.
It's interesting that though, because I think that squad is sort of like built and personifies like the way that Sean Dyche wants to play and the way that Sean Dyche's personality is. So I think I do want someone that plays a bit more football, but a complete change of direction. I'm not sure the players. I'm not sure we have the players to do it.
I don't know.
In a minute.
We discussed this the other day, Johnny. Chris Wilder last year, 12 months ago, would have been the perfect replacement.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I don't know he's out there.
He's got the right ethos, but he does play slightly more dynamic football, I'd say.
Yeah, I said that to you during the week, Sir, that I couldn't sit here and name 10 managers who I think, we need to go and get them. There is obviously someone out there, but there's good enough managers out there now who can do something with that team. There's got to be.
I mean, the one concern I have is I would have never have picked Dyche in the original lineup 10 years ago.
No.
But whoever picked him did an unbelievable job, and fair play to him. But we don't have them people in charge now.
No. Like I said, get him a statue at turf. I think he deserves something like that because of what he's done.
He's got a
He's
pub.
an absolute legend. He's got a what?
Got a pub.
That'll be changed. That'll be changed at Royal Bielsa, won't it, by end of the season? Like I say, what he's done is unbelievable. He wants really knackered for what he's done for Burnley, but I think he just come to the end, unfortunately.
No, I agree.
One website's giving Ollie 7-1.
And honestly, someone commented saying apparently there's another stream, the Talk BFC stream. Apparently, people on there saying they want Ollie. Why would you want Ollie? I don't understand.
Cardiff relegated.
It was sharp with Cardiff.
So
United.
Yeah, fuck
No chance.
Right, gents, I'm going to get going.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Right,
I'll speak to you through Simon at some point.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Bye.
Bye. Get your comments in. Do you all agree with what Johnny's saying? I don't know. What I do want to do is I want to bring something in which I've been trying to find, which I can't find at the minute. Another stat, because Johnny was saying we had the lowest points. What was it, Simon? Because you knew more. Lowest points out of the all four divisions.
If you put all football teams in the English Football League, so all the way down to League Two, in one table, going on points alone, Burnley are the bottom club in the whole of England.
That's mad. I do remember seeing something like that.
Since 21.
What I'm trying to find is, I'm not sure if I'm going to find it because it would have been a while ago, is Burnley had sort of like, out of all the top 5 leagues in Europe, so I think like 98 teams, like Burnley were the lowest for possession, the lowest for sprints, the lowest for touching the opposition box, the lowest for attacking plays. It was just, I've gone far back now and it's not there. I can't find it, but it's just damning, isn't it? It's just damning. But yeah, get your comments in. There's a Cardiff fan agrees. We do not want Ollie. Why would you want Ollie? I don't understand. If you genuinely want Ollie, then I can't help you. I can't help you. I don't know what else to say. We do not want Ollie. But anything you want to add, Sam? I'm going to try and bring some of Chris Bourne's tweets in because there was something about Ben Mee that you were saying that we haven't really we've touched on it, but.
Yeah, so Sky Sports mentioned it earlier that Ben Mee is to go into the backroom staff almost. It seems that he's going as some sort of an assistant to the under-23 coach who's going to take over. Do you know what I'm more shocked at? Not that Ben Mee's even on that list. The fact that our chairman has sacked someone without having someone ready to come in when we've got a massive winnable game in 2 days. I think that Billy Mercer will do an unbelievable job at, to take over for 2 or 3 days. Don't get me wrong, but I think that I'd be very surprised if a manager is not named by the West Ham game. I don't see how we could sack a manager without having someone lined up at this point. If
that was the case, surely they wouldn't have already be talking about who's coming in for Sunday.
I said this about Man United the other day, and I know it's not Man United podcast, but I said that the reason Man United are struggling is because the transition between Ferguson to the new manager was never as smooth as it should have been. Is this not our just way of saying that? These guys are going to be in charge with you until the end of the season while you take over. I think that transition is needed. You can't just bring someone in with a complete change of direction. Benitez has gone down to now 4-1. on another website.
Nah, that's just. And obviously, I work at a bookies, and I know everyone knows how bookies work. That'll just be people reacting to it. Oh, stick a tenner on Benitez, and then bookies are thinking, shit, did they know something? I agree with what Chris is saying, and I agree with what Karen Faz has said here on screen via Chris Borden. Billy Mercer going too. He's been here for years, and he's trained. What's that?
My beer machine cooling down.
Okay. And he's trained Heaton, he's trained Joe Hart, he's trained.
Is he going as well?
He's been sacked as well. He's been here for years. I don't know why they've sacked him, unless they're that mad about it that they've kind of gone with him.
I imagine if you're Billy Mercer and alike, you know that Sean is going to take you to the next club if you put your flag in the mast, as they say. I think that's more a statement from him of his loyalty to Sean Dyche.
Chris Borden says, whatever anyone thinks, and I'm speaking as a fan now, the promotions were great, but to deliver European football, to beat all the big six, and to go to 7 games unbeaten against that lot down the road, the horse fiddlers, I added that bit, ending nearly 35 years of misery, has been the most remarkable ride. And it has. And today's press conference has been cancelled. Breaking news. Today's press conference at the club has been cancelled.
We're a week late, mate, for sacking him.
I think that's more than a week. I think we should be sacked. If you're going to sack him,
but Warnock retired this week. We could have had him.
Oh, fuck Warnock. Fuck Warnock. Warren's gone as well. They've all gone. They've all been sacked. But like you said, that's a case of them nailing the colours in the mast, as Simon said. But Steve Stone's gone as well, Paul. Steve Stone has gone as well. But that's my thoughts on it. That's my reaction. I'm gutted.
Is this a player's decision then? For literally Ben Mee to come already and say, I will be in charge?
That's it. Let us know in the comments. Do you think he's lost the dressing room? Johnny alluded to it slightly then. The performance against Norwich looked like a lost the dressing room performance. They weren't doing... Burnley of old would have put their body on the line. And I know somebody earlier said sprints is an irrelevant stat, but Burnley would have sprinted like fuck to close down back in the day. They'd have sprinted to get back. They'd have done a lot of sprints. They just weren't doing it against Norwich. So is there a possibility he's lost the dressing room?
I don't know, but I think that the fact that Ben Mee's already stepped up to the plate and said, I will help, is more than a reaction from Dyche, from Pace. I think this is more than a reactional thing. This is a pre-planned. Not
sure about that, Charlie. It says Corney missed on purpose. Not sure about that one.
I think this is more than a reaction. This is already, like you said, you will employ your reserve team manager as it was back in the day, or the under-23 as it is now. Naturally, that is the way you go to survive while you sack somebody. But to get your captain to be on the team of staff is a different one, isn't it? Let's be fair.
Yeah, it'll be damning. Johnny, and I'm just going to repeat what Johnny Tate said. He said it'll be damning to see. Well, it'll be what I can't exactly what he said, but it'll be interesting to see how the players play on Sunday against West Ham, because if they're now up for it and proper going for it, then that maybe shows that maybe he did lose the dressing room, or maybe it's just a case of they're thinking, shit, I can't believe that we're in this position now and Sean's not here anymore. We've got to step up. So
I'm sorry, but you can't. Like weeks ago now, months ago, Sean Dyche was on a press conference and he was asked a question about 10 of his players being out of contract, and his reply was, "It's up to them to earn that contract." And blah blah blah. There's a new owner. There's this, there's that. I'm sorry, but you don't get in that position where no other club gets in a position where there's 10 out of contract. It's nothing to do with earning your right. All of them players have earned the right to be told whether they're staying or going by now. Within 3 months at the end of the season, they've all earned the right to know whether they're going or staying. Yeah,
so it's interesting, like you said. Is that entirely Dyche's fault, though, the contract situation?
No, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that he's saying that they need to prove themselves. Now, I know that when the new chairman come in, there was contracts handed out because Dyche got one. So he made sure he was sorted himself with a big fat bonus.
Which is bonus has just become instant as well. Just imagine, you'd be gutted, wouldn't you?
He's cashed out.
Yeah, he's cashed out. Now we're going down. I'm off.
Yeah, he's cashed out. He basically sat outside and said, "I'm chaining myself here until you get rid of me."
100% he's gone to Nottingham Hooters. 100% he's gone straight to Nottingham Hooters. He loves it there.
When do you think he'll come out and have a chat?
Well, they normally do put a statement out through the LMA, so you can expect that to drop today or tomorrow. They might be off because of Easter, but they will put a statement out through there. Who do you want in then? Well, we kind of discussed this already. Well, we haven't discussed who we want in, to be fair. We had a look at managers and odds and things like that, and we noticed that Sam Allardyce is a favourite. Apparently, Rafa Benitez has gone from 10-1 to 4-1.
Yeah.
Don't want any of them to. For me, I'd have Nuno. I would have Nuno. 100% I'd have Nuno. And Charlie, I know you're a Wolves fan. It worked wonders at Wolves. There's an Everton fan. Sorry, I've just offended Tony K because you're talking about Everton, Tony. I'm so sorry. It says, would you take Rafa Benitez? No. I don't. He isn't the man for this type of role. He's a good manager. It didn't work out from Everton.
Mainly because of the Everton Newcastle. Fans. He needs money. He said that himself many a time.
But I wouldn't take him. Tony Pulis, come on. No,
I
don't want him.
We might as well literally just wear red and white stripes if we get that guy in. Yeah. We are literally becoming Stoke.
Sean the Sheep says Steve Keane. He's worked wonders for Burnley in the past, hasn't he? You know what? I've noticed that no Blackburn fans have been in here yet laughing. I mean, I've blocked 90% of them, to be fair.
You blocked 4, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. The Shadow Gamer, I know you want Nuno. I'm going to put it out there again so you don't put it 50 times again. There you go. So please stop.
Vicky Williams has said on TikTok, there's something definitely not right. As you say, for them all to go and me to step up, it is just madness. Saturn, this uncommon simple sound.
Yeah. Charlie says he did a fantastic job at Wolves. Defensively solid, foremost, works out for the back. See, that could work for us. That could work for us. If he works out from the back, if he works on the back and is defensively solid, I think he will be a good fit.
I'll tell you what, I will say this. Nuno, I was only speaking about this the other day, weirdly, that because of that Joe Hart podcast and he got criticised for it. And I was thinking to myself, everyone's slating Nuno at the minute. But when he was at Wolves, before he got that Spurs job, Man United fans, a lot of big clubs around Europe were saying he's going to be the next manager. Now, obviously, we have a massive record with goalkeepers, don't we, at this club? And he was a goalkeeper. Who's to know that it won't be a success? But I do think, without sounding a dickhead to the Burnley fans, I do think that he possibly would get a bigger club.
Who's that? Nuno?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think, even if he doesn't come back in the Premier League, I think he'll get a top La Liga club.
It's one of them. Does he want to get back in now and seize the opportunity? Sees, I'm getting now, I can get a job now, or has he got the patience to wait? Like Lampard, I think Lampard's fucked up by jumping into Everton. He should have been a bit more patient and got a club more suited to him.
Look at Pochettino. He's not the best manager in the world. He waited it out and he got PSG job.
Yeah, well, he's one of them. He's good, but he don't bring trophies, does it? It depends what you want. Bethany says she don't fancy any of them. Can we just have City's manager? I'm not sure that's how it works.
Yeah.
Nuno was right about Joe Hart, though, says Charlie. No way Hart is the number one.
Well, we'll go into that. It's another show.
Would you take Klopp or Pep? Come on. Of course I would.
Who would you, though?
What? Oh, would what? Out of them two? Out of them two. You know what? I think Pep is the better overall gaffer and has done more. But for us, I'd take Klopp.
Yeah. And that's from someone who hates Liverpool.
Don't say that. There's Liverpool fans in the chat. They'll turn on me. I love Klopp, though. I think, well, actually, no, Klopp's a prick. I just remember, though, he slags Burnley off all the time. No, Pep. I can't believe I said that. But, yeah, I don't know what else to say now. I've talking for, 40 minutes now? I didn't think it'd be that long. For about a 20-minute thing. I've had requests from Premier League fans on. I've got a message request off somebody, so I need to get stuff done. Gary Neville, who's put that? Come on. He was crap at Valencia. He's a good pundit, but he's not a manager. Nathan Jones struggled at Stoke, says Chris W. So I don't know. Then again, Eddie, however, struggled at Burnley and he's done all right since. Not going into it, Tony. But it's, overall emotion is gutted. Should have seen out the season for me. I'd have given it, even when we went down, because I think we've been down for a while now. I've just refused to accept it until the Norwich game. Said that, I accepted it before the Everton game, then they brought me back in with the Everton game. And then they made me gutted again after the Norwich game. But there's a lot of shouts to Graham Alexander. I'm not a fan of Farker. Stephen Defoe. He needs. He's done his licenses. He's done his badges.
Yeah, but he's assistant still, isn't he? He's not even like manager yet.
Yeah.
And let's be fair, it's a different job, isn't it?
Rather than picking names, then what route would you want to go down? Would you want to go down the getting some randomer in like Nuno who has no ties to the club?
Well, this is what I meant.
Want somebody in.
This like is what I made the point of earlier. I would never have picked Sean Dyche. I think that his CV wasn't good enough to take over at that point. However, how wrong could you be? So if the club come in and say, it's too easy to go down the Joy Bartons, the Duff, and you're almost appeasing the fans there rather than making a decision.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily think that's a decision that you're taking for the right direction of the club. I think that it needs to be interviews. It needs to be, referenced. People need to, we can all sound good in an interview. You need to know somebody that knows that person. That's the way it works in football. Some of the players who I know that have said that clubs have asked them about other players before they sign them. And so it happens a lot. So I think I think they've got this. I know that if I was that guy, I would have somebody in my head before I sack Dyche. So I wouldn't sack Dyche without having somebody lined up.
Yeah, and I hope you are right. I hope we have somebody lined up. It's the first time Pace has ever done this. It's the first time ALK has ever done this. That sacked a manager. I can't work out which way my hair is.
It's in reverse.
I can't work it out. So I don't think they would have been savvy enough to sound it out already. I just don't think they would have. I think they've pressed the panic button and then they've gone, right, gives a list of managers.
I'll tell you what, how many Crystal Palace fans would have said yes to Vieira and look at what he's doing with that club?
True. We all thought Vieira were going to do bad at Palace.
All of us thought of it, right? So that's what I'm saying, that sometimes managers that haven't done well at other clubs go away, they work on themselves, they come back as a better version. And I think that Vieira was an Arsenal player. You know, that's like us picking a Blackburn player.
Yeah.
I know it's not quite the nearest rivals, don't get me wrong. So maybe a Preston.
I don't even know how that works.
No, I don't even know how that works.
I don't know how London rivalries work. They're all weird.
They hate Brighton.
Yeah, they do. They hate Brighton. That's miles away.
So apparently, there's one. I asked Wayne Hennessy this. I said, "What is the thing about that?" And he said, apparently he doesn't even know, but apparently there's a road that connects the two.
Yeah, there's a road. It's called the M Summit Derby, but I think they hate each other because of a big game that once sent Brighton down, and a big game that once meant Palace missed out on something. I
think there was something to do with this road that littered with it all.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay says silly names being mentioned. This is coming from someone who earlier said Stan Ternant. So come on, Gordon. You know, I've got a good memory sometimes. It's just good to top the screen, to be fair. But yeah,
Roy Keane's been thrown on TikTok.
I've seen Roy Keane a few times. TikTok, what are you doing? I said, no, he's a good pundit. Well, he's not even a good pundit. He just gets angry. He just gets angry at Marco Richards, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's so funny."
He'd probably headbutt folks.
Yeah,
I can't see him doing it now.
The next few weeks are going to be interesting. We currently have quite a lot of viewers on, but I think we've ran out of things to say unless someone else wants to start a new conversation. But I am going to put this up as a podcast on the podcast app as soon as I can, physically, straight away. And if you are watching on YouTube and you've just joined it last 10 minutes and you want to watch it all, as soon as this video ends, you can watch it all on YouTube from the start again. Anything else you want to say?
No, thank you very much. I think to end my opinion on it, it's the same as I said right at the beginning. It's the right decision, wrong time. It's too late in the season or it's too early to do it. We should have done it at the end of the season, but it's the wrong time.
See, I agree. I think Dyche and not run its course. That's the wrong phrase, because I would have kept him until halfway through next season to see how we got on. Next season in the Championship. I think his record in the Championship speaks for itself. A lot of players were leaving, so this thing we were mentioning earlier about people, so like the same players and the same voice and the same manager all becoming stale. If we'd have got rid of these 10 players that were out of contract, then I think it wouldn't have been as stale. So I'd have give him next season personally. Jake Simerson says, would you two take over if you was asked? Depends on the money, mate. I'm not doing it for free. I ain't doing it for free. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff for Duff. We've mentioned that. Will anyone walk with Dyche? We'll see. But thank everyone for joining us. I'm going to wrap it up now, even though I can't up there because there's something in the way. But I'm going to wrap it up now. Like I said, if you want to go back and watch the entire show, you can do. It's going to stay on YouTube, and I'm going to put the podcast up within the next hour. So yeah, you can come back, listen, and everything. But thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. That's a point. Curtis Lee Baker. I wish I got a pic with him. I never got a picture with Sean Dyche. Never. And my chance has gone. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.